Good afternoon, my name is Rashad Terry. I'm a licensed esthetician instructor, approved and certified through the Board of Cosmetology in the states of Georgia and Florida. I am also a cosmetic product developer. Today we'll be talking about high frequency, the treatments and its benefits, and everything circling around it. So if this is something that you're interested in learning today, stay tuned. High frequency is a skincare treatment that utilizes a high frequency current to promote various skin benefits. The origin of high frequency can be traced back to about the 19th century when it was initially developed for medical purposes. They used it for treating infections and wound healing. In the beauty industry, high frequency was later adapted as a skincare treatment due to the ability to improve skin's health and appearance. High frequency treatments work by delivering a gentle electrical current through glass electrodes to the skin at about 100,000 to 250,000 hertz. These hertz delivered to the skin help to generate warmth, which increase blood circulation, fluid circulation. It promotes collagen production, as well as it has its antimicrobial effects. These combined effects contribute to improved skin's health, clarity, as well as the radiance on the skin. Now, there are multiple types of high frequency machines that you can utilize in the treatment room, but the one that I personally prefer and the one that I love to use is the handheld device. This is the actual high frequency part of the machine, and then you get these glass nodes inside of your package. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what I love about this is it's very lightweight, it's handheld, it has your one power source that turns the frequency up and down, and it's just a really easy plug and play type of situation when you're in the treatment room. Another reason why I like these is because typically when you get like a 9-in-1 machine, or you get those different types that have multiple machines connected, what I don't like is sometimes when you buy specific ones, when one thing breaks, it all is just pretty much out of use. I like to have separate machines in my treatment room so that I can use my machines on a case-by-case scenario and not have to use the entire machine. So as we spoke about earlier, the benefits of a high frequency treatment are going to be pretty much your collagen production, the reduced acne causing bacteria, healthier, clearer, more radiant skin, increased circulation. Typically when you're providing a high frequency treatment, those are the focal points that we look at. There's a couple of things that you want to think about when preparing a high frequency treatment. You want to first prepare the skin. You want to always utilize the high frequency machine on cleansed skin, and you want to choose the appropriate node or probe for your high frequency, and you also want to conduct a treatment based on the areas of the face. The one that we commonly use inside of the treatment room is called the mushroom tip, and when applying these nodes inside, you want to never grip. I don't like to grip because some people tend to be a little bit heavier in hand, and gripping can potentially crack your high frequency node. So what I like to do is with 3 fingers gently place it down inside until I can't go anymore, and then I'll give it a nice turn, and then it should be inside of your handheld device. A couple of things, the frequency. I like to do my high frequency treatments within 5-minute intervals. I don't like to exceed 5 minutes. Even when it's on the service menu, you can book up to a 5-minute add-on. So that's generally where I personally go when it comes to duration and frequency. Some of the safety precautions and contraindications to this is, first things first, to be safe, you want to conduct a thorough skin analysis before proceeding with any high frequency treatment. You want to look out for any of those potential issues and make sure that you modify or avoid this treatment altogether sometimes, depending on what's going on the skin. This may not be suitable for every skin condition. So people who experience maybe rosacea, eczema, someone who has sunburn or dermatitis or open wounds, this may not be a great treatment for them to receive this time around in a treatment service. Of course, if anyone has, when you're dealing with electrotherapy in general, anybody who has metal plates, metal pins, metal implants, who has a pacemaker, braces, anything like that, high frequencies should be avoided altogether to prevent or interfere, to prevent interference with discomfort. You also want to avoid your high frequency treatments on broken or irritated skin. This should not be performed on skin with open wounds, cuts, active acne lesions, or other forms of skin irritants or irritations. The electrical current can further aggravate the skin and cause more damage than benefit. You want to check, of course, again, I can't stress enough how much you want to check for those metal plates and pins so that you do not interfere with anything that can cause discomfort or cause further damage to the body. Another thing that you want to really consider when it comes to using your high frequency treatments is using the appropriate intensity. So you want to adjust the level of your high frequency device based on comfort and appropriate settings for the skin sensitivity. Typically, when I turn my high frequency on, I typically never go past maybe like the second notch, just me personally. When coming in contact with a client, you want to remain connected to the probe until you connect to your client, and then you release the finger from it. The same thing when removing. You want to connect with the probe and the client, release, and then release the fingertip. That is very important because that currency needs to flow properly to and from the skin. You also want to avoid sensitive areas and take you want to take caution when treating sensitive areas of the face, such as the eye area, around the lips. This may be prone to more discomfort and cause adverse reactions. You want to maintain proper hygiene of your machine, and the reason why you want to cleanse and sanitize your glass electrodes and other accessories is because the treatment, you want to prevent as much bacteria transfer as possible. And educate your client. Educate your client on the before, during, and after care of these things. And if anything goes wrong, or if there are any concerns or anything that you have a doubt or concern, always seek an esthetician or a dermatologist who can provide the proper treatment. Speaking of, this is not a treatment that your consumer, if you are a consumer, you should be utilizing on your own. This should be under the practice of a professional licensed esthetician or a dermatologist. This is not something that you would utilize at home. Frequently asked questions that I typically get about the high frequency. The first thing is, how soon can your results be expected? So with the high frequency, what I love is that you will see instant and long-term results. These will provide instant and temporary benefits. You oftentimes will see improved skin tone immediately, increased circulation, as well as a temporary reduction of inflammation and redness in the skin. And the next question that we typically get is the potential side effects. High frequency treatments are generally safe and well tolerated, of course. but the potential side effects that should be considered, such as tingling, mild discomfort, redness, flushing, dryness of the skin, tightness, and sometimes increased sensitivities. Another thing is when utilizing your high frequency treatments, you want to create a barrier in between the skin. I like to use one of two things. So I'll either use a face mask, a dry face mask, just to kind of occlude the actual probe away from the skin, or I will use a hairnet on my client's face. Those are the two options. You can get both of these, as well as you can find the high frequency machine. If you are a licensed esthetician, you can go to the link in any of my bios on my social media. And if you click Amazon storefront, you will have all of those tools and all of these things as well in there for purchase, as well as many other things that I use. So just so you guys can see how the function is, I'm going to connect to my client, and I am going to use consistent passes across the skin. I'm going to disconnect and allow that frequency to transfer solely to my client. When ready to disconnect, I'm going to connect, remove, turn my machine off, and move forward in that way. Sometimes when utilizing the high frequency, you will have this smell. Can't really describe the smell, but the smell is totally normal. Typically, it is the high frequency machine killing bacteria on the skin. It creates almost like this, not really gas-like, but is, for lack of better words, a gas-like smell. Completely normal. Once complete, you want to remove your probe. Once the machine is completely turned off, you never add any moisture into this part of the probe. This is the part that connects to the machine. You want to take 75% alcohol, and typically on a paper towel, and you're going to wipe down only the glass portion of your probe, and you're going to put your probe back in its protective case, and that's going to be that. So I hope that you guys learned something today about high frequency treatments and how they can boost radiance, circulation, and oxygenate the skin. I will see you guys right here on my YouTube page for another installment next time. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about high frequency or any other thing, please feel free to leave comments down below. I'll be happy to answer those. See you guys later.